into my pictures.
I think Niruban has finally done it with that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, let's see how it goes.
How do I show it up?
Yeah, you could just hold it up to the camera
Yes.
there.
Here we go. Can we get a tight shot of that? I'm sure we can.
So Niruban, tell us a little bit about, if you could pass it to me. Yeah.
Alright, sure.
I see. This is very interesting. Which one of us is which? I'm a little confused.
So I saw Banu with the glasses first,
Okay.
so that's Banu.
Okay.
Okay.
That's you with the hairdo that goes like that.
I felt a little bit like a pirate there. I was like, okay, that's nice. And my hair has like a face, like a life of its own. I like it.
Yeah. So
The hairspray does have a life of its own.
really okay.
But I find many similarities between Sam, in the version that you drew, and in real life as well. She look very similar.
Oh, that's the heavy eyeliner.
Thank you. Thank you, Niruban. This is really nice.
No worries.
We're going to keep this.
Yes.
And we're going to also give this to our makeup division as well with the heavy eyeliner and this. Yeah, we'll say, this is noticed.
Of course. And Niruban, professionally, you work as an accountant as well.
Yes.
And this is something quite, I wouldn't say quite, this is completely and utterly different.
Yeah.
Does this affect your creativity of being an accountant?
Yes and no. Sometimes I like to think of myself as Batman, like Bruce Wayne by day, Batman by night. But I also found out recently that if I did art full time, I'd probably go crazy at one point. So the accounting, it's safe to say, it keeps me sane.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a nice balance.
For the balance, yeah.
Yeah. So it does get frustrating sometimes because you don't have as much time a full-time artist would have to invest in this, but it's necessary,
But it's a good passion to have.
Yeah, it is.
Niruban, you are quite the unconventional artist. So what has the response been from like the general public in Sri Lanka?
The general public in Sri Lanka. The people I meet, for some reason, I thought they wouldn't like the work I do, probably because it's very cartoonish and very warped. But for some reason, they like it and they appreciate it. Sometimes it's a bit too much. Most of the times they're lost. They're like, "What is this? Is this a pumpkin? Is this a human being?" Yeah, but they appreciate it, I guess.
It's nice. We'd like to thank the both of you for joining us today, and thank you so much for joining us and sharing your pictures and your work, because it's really been very inspiring, because both of you have been very, very unconventional artists who've come here and joined us. And we'd like to also thank Asad, who joined us earlier. Thank you. We will go in for a short commercial break and come back on the other side. Thank you for joining us. Thank you.
Welcome back to Good Morning Sri Lanka, your pioneer breakfast show in town, and we are very, very excited because it's not just a normal theme for today. It's a very, very interesting segment. It's very important and a very, very conspiring, and what else? I can just drag so many adjectives out of my vocabulary to say how awesome today's show is. And we're talking about young revolutionaries in Sri Lanka, and of course that's the theme for today. But right now we've got a very interesting segment, as I mentioned before. It's about the functionality of pottery and ceramic goods and the functionality of this, and we've got a very, very important opinion former in the field of this topic as well. Say hello to the chairman of Anuradha Ceramics, Mr. Ajit Pereira. Very good morning to you, and of course his daughter as well, looking gorgeous as always. Sam?
Mr. Ajit and Yashoda, welcome to Good Morning Sri Lanka. Thank you so much for joining us. My first question is, now I'm not too familiar with the term studio ceramics. If you could explain to us what exactly that means.
May I know your name?
Sam. It's Sam.
Sam.
Yes.
Right. It's without until you see this product, it's very difficult to explain what is studio ceramics. But if I say walang,
I know what that means.
It's very familiar to you. Everybody knows walang, hatti-mutti. Everybody knows, right? I think the studio pottery is Now, if you think about the walang, it's a mass-produced item.
Yes.
right? There are families, villages, they produce hatti-mutti. But when you talk about studio ceramics it's a kind of valang. It's a kind of valang. It's a kind of a hatti-mutti. But it's a creation of an individual artist. There's no two pieces alike.
So studio ceramics also have a functional aspect to it.
There may be functional.
Okay.
There may be functional, but as an artist, as potter, I like to create items without any functional value. I don't care about the functional value.
Art for art's sake.
Yes. Yeah.
So talking about creations right now, we are about to see a very, very important video of what you do as a profession and of course as a hobby right now on Good Morning Sri Lanka. We'll check this out and we'll be right back.
We saw so many different types of pottery and everything was so intricately done. Before we go in depth into that, I have a question for Yashoda. You're a student of architecture, I believe, and I'd like to know as a young person how you are inspired by your father's work and how you see ceramics featuring in the world of architecture and in that sort of field in the future.
Yeah, basically when it comes to architecture, maybe you're asking the relevance between architecture or ceramics.
Yes.
So I think any art, so architecture is no exception, any art in general, like ceramics or pottery, it has that creative or intuitive aspect. As in, if something is created by an artist, that the creativity of the product is it relies on the intuitive aspect of that artist.
And mentioning that word particularly, you'll have an exhibition coming up with the word intuition.
Yes.
Yes, going to talk about that as well.
Yes. So prior to that, I'll answer her.
Yes.
So see, the relationship in architecture, I think I relate it when it comes to materials and when it comes to that intuitive aspect, because to do any art, to do any design, you need to understand the material. You need to understand how you work with the material and what makes a product or a design unique from one to another. So I think, say, studio ceramics is just one type of art and architecture is no exception. So that intuitive aspect and the way you understand the material and how you put it to the ground is what is important, I guess.
I see. So if you could tell,
yes, about the most important question that's been mingling in my mind, about the intuition exhibition that's going to kick off in a couple of days' time.
Yes.
And Ajit, you can add.
Yeah, you know, When we named this exhibition as Intuition,
Yes.
we had a very long discussion. I had a very long discussion with my daughter. So she made a significant contribution for that. That's why I invited her to come here, because she is the best person to explain why we name this as Intuition.
Why?
Okay, why? So then again, I'll relate it to architecture. I'm in the 4th year now, studying at University of Morocco, Faculty of Architecture. The moment I entered to the university, the question, the problem that I faced was, I was questioned, and they demanded answers and reasons to everything that I did, to every stroke I drew, to every sketch I did. So they basically asked, why you did this, why you did this, so what is the reason
But that's
behind it?
very contrary to your father's philosophy of art.
Yeah, so I'll come to that. So that is where all this comes. So basically, I was demanded answers, and still it's in the academic process. I'm not offending any of it, but see, as an artist, it's really hard to explain, to reason out. As in, you cannot find logics behind what we do. So see, the reason why we cannot reason out is basically this intuitive route that we have, as in,
Sorry for this. She always asks, Tati, give me a tell, give me a teller.
in university we say, like, we do something which is out of the world,
Okay.
and we are asked to reason out at an exam. So we say tell then all, like, so that's the word we use. So apart from that, so
all the time I have to go tell. I have to.
So I had to borrow tell from another person. See, that is the problem. You cannot, it's really hard to reason out.
And
So-
looking at these objects, it's very, very unique, and it's very different. And we were talking just prior to the show, and the audience needs to know as well. When we look at these kind of products and objects, you sense a level of life from these inanimate
And
objects.
the whole crew
Yeah.
sensed something else also. I'm pretty sure that was made out of metal. The whole crew, we were looking at it earlier and we were touching it. We were like, oh, this is metal. This must be metal. Apparently